What's going on, YouTube family? Today, we are going to be discussing why is it that motherhood often feels like an unfair role. All right, mamas, tell me. I know you've thought about this before. You've thought about why on earth does it feel like I'm doing this alone? Right? I know I'm not alone. So if you're interested in unplugging this conversation with me, sit back and let's get into the video. Welcome back to another episode of Nicky's Corner, where we unplug all things lifehood, wifehood, and motherhood. So I'm gonna start off by telling you a little bit of a story as to how I actually came up with this topic, because it kind of just hit me in the middle of the night. So as you can hear in my voice, I have a little bit of a cold, and it's been going on for about a week and a half now, and this is probably the worst cold that I've ever had, okay? So at about 3 a.m., Dee and I finished doing everything we had to do. I think we read a little bit of a book and we cleaned up, packed the lunches, all that stuff. And we finally decide, okay, we're gonna go to bed. So we lay down in bed, and within 2 seconds, Dean is out. Dean is gone. Dean has hit number 10 realm, level 10 REM sleep. I don't know what you call it, but he was gone, okay? So it's like the moment I put my head on my pillow, Melody and Harmony start doing all their numbers and their sounds. And I'm kind of just like, they're acting like they're about to wake up. And I'm not here for it because I'm tired. I cannot deal with this right now. Anyways, long story short, Melody waltzes her way over to my bed. So I'm like, sis, go back to your bed. I'm not dealing with this right now. You're too old for it. Like, I'm giving her all the excuses to make her feel like, all right, I gotta go back to my bed, you know? So she finally goes back to her bed. Within like 14 seconds of that, who comes running over into the room to come on my bed? It's Harmony, okay? So now Harmony, she's crying. So the crying is now this like nagging sound where I'm just like, okay, now I'm triggered because one, I have work in the morning, and two, I'm exhausted and I'm sick. Mind you, I'm sick, okay? So long story short, I pick up Harmony and I put her on the bed in between Dean and myself. So she's there, she's sprawled out, and I'm couched on the side of my bed, you know, like just couch on the side of my bed. But I'm like, you know what? I will do it if it makes her stop crying and it lets me get a couple hours of sleep. So Melody notices now that Harmony's no longer with her. And so she starts carrying on. Harmony, mind you, doesn't like to sleep with sheet. So she's on top of the sheet in between Dean and myself. So you already know mine is like kind of short because she's putting the pressure down on my side, okay? In the middle. So this side of my arm is exposed. Cool. So Melody now comes on the bed. There's no space for her. So she chooses to lay down across my body. She lays down like this. Right? So her head is here, her body's here, and her feet are sprawled out. But she's cold, okay? She's cold. So I say, okay, sis, go grab your blanket and put it over you, okay? So now she has her blanket on her, and she's like tossing and turning and trying to figure out how she's gonna get comfortable on top of my body. Finally, she says, Mom, I'm hot, itch my back. Excuse me, what? So not only is my body cold because I'm sick and I'm shivering and this side of my body's exposed to the air in the room, but now she wants me to take the little blanket that I was using from her blanket to cover this side, take it off of her, and itch her back. But you know what? I did it. I actually did it. I looked at the time and it was like 3:34, and I itched her back until she fell asleep. Why? Because I'm a mother. Because that's what comes with the job. You do a lot of these selfless acts because your family's depending on it. That's a part of the job that they don't tell you. It's a part of the job that you kind of just adapt to because you know everybody's counting on you. You know they need you. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're hungry. They don't care if you're tired. At the end of the day, all they know is that you're their mother and this is your job. So I itched my little girl's back. I itched my little girl's back until she fell asleep. And then I finally put them both back in their beds, and I was able to get about 2 hours of sleep. Woke up the next morning, went to work. Granted, I was tired at work, but at the end of the day, I found satisfaction in knowing that, you know what? At the end of the day, my kid was scared in her bed, and I allowed her to come sleep with me. She felt comforted, and I took care of her. And you know, you find the little joys in that. But I'm wondering, like, they would never pull that stunt with their dad. They would have never pushed the button to get in the bed had Dean been awake. They would have never asked Dean to take the blanket off and scratch their back until they fell asleep. Why is it that they chose me? Because of what I just said. Because I'm the mom. I'm the weak one, but I'm the loved one. The one that, will always do anything to make them happy. But that's the thing that kind of triggers me a little bit sometimes. And I know I'm not the only one who agrees with this. Tap in the comments if you're about to agree with what I'm saying. Do you find that when the fathers come home, that they suddenly become the superheroes? That they suddenly get to throw the kid up in the air and let them soar through the sky, and they suddenly become the favorite parent, as if you were not just spending 10 hours with them, cleaning up after them, feeding them, taking care of them? I know. It's so annoying. But again, it's part of the job that they don't tell you. Another thing that actually crossed my mind that night was, I know we all seen that little viral video that went around about when the parents are kind of getting ready to leave the house and the mom's moving at like lightning speed, and she's like packing the bags, combing the kids' hair, getting ready, packing the lunches, doing all that stuff. And the dad is taking his sweet time, tying his shoelaces and combing his hair and just doing all these little things really, really slow while the mom's moving mad around the house. And I know we all chuckle at it. I know we've all chuckled at it because it's relatable, but a big part of it is very sad. And it's sad because it's like, when did this become our job? When did this become solely part of our job description, that we have to be the ones to pack the bags, that we have to be the ones to comb all of their hair? Yes, these are like motherly things that we do, but when did it solely become an expectation that we have to do all of this alone? You know what I mean? And so it was something that I've thought about, and it bothered me to a point, but when I had Melody, it was just a thing. Like, I used to pack her bag so meticulous, like I had everything put together, like you couldn't look in her bag and not find what you were looking for. Like, everything was so organized. Like, I was a gnat for that. But it took a lot of preparation. It didn't just come easy. Like, I would lose sleep at night and I would lose sleep in the morning because I was staying up late and I was waking up mad early to make sure that everything was going the way that it needed to go, so that when we're ready to get to that event, that everything would be ready and the day would be run smoothly. You know what I mean? And I learned that can't be the way that things run, because one, I'm burnt out, and two, I don't necessarily always look the way that I want to look because I'm taking care of everybody else when I have help. You know what I mean? I don't have to do this thing alone. And so I had a conversation with Dean, and he was like, it just kind of looks like you have everything together. It doesn't look like you need help. So I never really thought you needed help. And then he was like, guys don't really think that way. We're not really wired to think that way. And so I kind of stepped back and I was like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because you're not wired that way. You're not thinking that way. You know what I mean? And I had to give him grace. And so now, yeah, he chips in where he sees a need to be chipped in. And sometimes he still needs to be reminded, like, yo, Dean, you put the milk in the bags and make sure you pack the snacks. And he'll do it. It's not that he has a problem doing it, but a lot of the times he's not thinking of those things because he thinks that I have it all together. You know what I mean? And so type in the comment section. Are you asking for help? Are you delegating help? Get help. You're not supposed to do this alone. We were not supposed to do this alone. Get help. I used to feel annoyed that, and sometimes, honestly, I still do, that I feel like fathers get to take their father hats off whenever they want to, that they get to just, well, the game's on tonight, so I'm not going to get them dinner, or I can't pick them up because I have to do this thing. I'm too tired. I just can't do it. Whereas mothers, we're literally always wearing our hat. When we're at work, we're waiting for the phone calls from school or daycare. When we're at the grocery stores, what will my child eat? What will they want to eat? Throughout the day, we're literally always thinking about these kids, and it grinds my gears because I'm just like, why is it that you get to just live wild and free and then come home and be the superhero all the time? Like, why is it that my hat always has to stay on? And it feels like it's always on 24 ever, right? Mamas, type in the comment section. Do you feel like you're always wearing your mama hats and the fathers get to take them off whenever? I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's a thing, but I don't know. It kind of grinds my gears. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one that it kind of triggers sometimes. But I mean, I really don't know why. I really don't know why it is that they get that opportunity, but I feel like we should also sometimes get that opportunity, and we are, you know, able to get that. You need to get time for yourself. You need to be able to take some time and just do what it is that you want to do, and make sure that the fathers are taking their role and doing the parts that they need to do when they need to do it, to chip in. You don't have to do this alone. We're not supposed to do this alone, all right, mamas? So do what you need to do. Take time for you, because they take their hats off. So we should take our hats off too, right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. And don't get me wrong. Parenting is such a beautiful job. It is such, not even a job. Parenting is such a beautiful thing. It is so beautiful to have kids. Kids are life. Kids are light. Kids are so much joy. They do all of that. But there are some times where it comes with extra baggage that we're sometimes not equipped for, we're sometimes not prepared for. Like, your toddler will literally hurt your feelings in one breath and then love on you like nothing ever happened in the next breath. And that's a part of motherhood, and that's a part of parenting that they really don't tell you. But honestly, I just need you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone through all of this. I even heard a person say before, like, I love being a mother, but I sometimes don't love being a parent. And I kind of sat with myself and I was like, I don't get it. But I get it now. I get it, because being a mother, you get to give birth to this thing, and you get to just have this thing. You give birth to this beautiful child, and you get to just have that child and care for it. But when you're a parent, you take on so many extra roles. You take on the doctors, the cook, the cleaner, the friend, the everything. You're carrying so much. But again, I just want to encourage you to know that you're doing the best that you can. You're honestly doing the best that you can. And as long as you continue to show up for your child and show up for yourself and show up for your family, they will appreciate you. Oftentimes we feel like our kids are going to be like all mad at us for not, you know, doing certain things. And granted, they might, but at the end of the day, in a split second, they will forgive you. They will forget. They won't hold you accountable or hold you hostage the way an adult would. You know what I mean? And so just give yourself grace. That's my biggest thing. Give yourself grace as you are going through this whole process of motherhood and going through this whole process of parenting. And yes, it is an unfair role at times because we carry so much of it, but honestly, we're wired for it and we're good at it. But again, remember, you do not have to do it alone. You're not alone. Okay, so I mentioned it in one of my other videos. Delegate, ask people for help. You need to find a circle, a village, a community of people who will be there for you, who will help you, who will serve with you, and just parent with you and raise your children with you, because we can't do it alone. There are times where you're gonna feel like you wanna crawl into a ball and just bawl, and that's okay. But just know that you are doing the best you can. As long as you are showing up and taking care of them babies, they are going to love you and love you and love you some more, because you are the best mama they ever had in all their life. So if you can agree, or if you agree with anything I've said today, or if any of it resonates with you, type in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Nicky's Corner. Love you guys. Appreciate all your love and support. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.